Good afternoon or good evening. Welcome to Knowledge is Power Podcast Live. And we're back again on a regular Sunday evening. Let me tell you a little bit about Knowledge is Power. We present to you every week. We've got 3 shows now every week on Knowledge is Power Podcast Live. And that is a roundtable talk show that is on Tuesdays at 9 p.m. And the Let's Talk Impact is on Thursdays at 7 p.m. Well, of course, you with Knowledge is Power podcast on our regular Sunday evening. And our guest today is the Precinct 4, Jefferson County Precinct 4 Commissioner, Bo Alfred. He will be joining us in a few minutes, but I'd like to tell you that Knowledge is Power Podcast Live is a platform to share important information by educating Southeast Texas African American communities with valuable info on financial, money management, and a whole lot more. Leadership, business, and politics. We got it all right here on Knowledge is Power Podcast Live. Now, let me switch over here. I'm going to move this screen over and go to my banner screen, and I am going to introduce you to our guest tonight, Mr. Bo Alfred, Bo Alfred, County Commissioner, Precinct 4. And I'd like to let you know that early voting starts on Tuesday, February the 17th through the 27th. And Bo Alfred would like to thank you all for your support and let you know that come on out and let's forward and let's do this together. So let's bring on my good friend, Mr. Bo Alfred. Bo, how are you, sir? I'm going to put you on the big screen, okay?
Fine.
All right. I got to put you on the big screen, so let you be there. There we go.
Thank you.
Great. Man, it's great to have you. It is good to have you here with us. Now, you are the incumbent Precinct 4 Commissioner. You've been the commissioner now for the past how many years?
23 years.
23 years.
Yes,
23 long years.
Yeah.
23 longer than I am. Boy, I'm glad we're doing this. And, of course, I like to be fair with the other candidates. I like to do this because when you're doing live debates in audience, you're not really getting your message out because they only limit you to a certain limit of time, 2 minutes, 1 minute, to speak out. And at this time now, we are much older now. We cannot get those words out like we want to. You know what I'm talking about? We just can't say the things we like to say. And I have problems doing what I'm doing here. I've been doing this for 7 years, and I still have issues about getting my message out. And I was supposed to say that, or did I supposed to say this? I didn't say that. But it's good to express yourself and also get your message out. And so we're not just dealing with a small audience, we're dealing with the entire audience, social media, and we're spreading that word out to the masses. So tonight, I want to thank you for coming on and being with us on Knowledge is Power Podcast Live. Like I was mentioning earlier to my audience, is that we have now 3 shows, so 3 nights a week. So we want to be able to expand our platform to reaching out to others and putting the message out. And so, Bo, tell us a little bit about you. And well, of course, I know about you, but I want to let the audience know and what you've been doing for the last 23 years. And I will start off with, for the listeners that's listening with us who may not know you personally, who is Bo Alfred beyond the title of County Commissioner?
Well, Bo Alfred is a young man that was raised in Beaumont, Texas, as it was known, South End, Texas. From a little boy, Bo Alfred is a father. Well, first, I'm married to Naomi Conmier Alfred. We have 4 kids and 3 boys, grandboys, and we just recently had a grand girl. So she's kind of run everything, but I have 2 of them that call me Pawpaw, and 2 of them that hadn't got to that point yet. But I'm a staunch believer in the Lord. I let Him lead and guide me, and I believe in Jefferson County and Southeast Texas. That's Bo Alfred, the family man.
That's the Bo Alfred, the family man. Yeah, and I know you from the South End. We're all from the South End. What do you want the people of Precinct 4 to know about your campaign and the directions you see for the future?
Well, I want to know, first of all, we have tried to make sure that we put the word out correct, and that is a positive campaign showing the proven factors, showing the experience, leadership, showing that we've gone through storms. And from those storms, we learned a tremendous amount. Those storms taught us how to make sure we keep a budget reserve, because it's very important to get this county back up and going. From that, we learned that you have to make sure you make good, prudent decisions. You don't spend everything you take in. You have to make sure you put some to the side. Those are things. And for the future, I want to make sure they know that we are there looking out for them to make sure that young families can survive. We haven't increased taxes and things of that nature because of. We want to make sure that we have jobs and opportunities. That's very important. And then we want to make sure that we bring some activities that I think will benefit. We now own Ford Park. We have had a couple of different entities come in and talk to us about how we can enhance that and make it more family friendly for Southeast Texas. Sometimes you have to get outside the box and ask the citizens what they want when it comes to that. And that's what we are going to do before we make any expenditures or touch any dime to do anything out there, but maintain it to make sure it's doing something positive with the anchor tenants that we have, with the baseball we have, and potentially bringing in softball and several other sporting events that will individuals in our community kind of enjoy.
Well, we're the road now. Let's move on to another topic.
Okay.
Roads conditions have been a major concern. Can you explain why roads are being patched instead of fully repaved right now, and how Interstate 10 construction
Mhm.
and heavy truck traffics impact that decision?
Major thing right now, well, we bless one. Whenever you get a major injection of fund to redo an interstate, that's a blessing. And we have to thank Representative Phelan. He pushed that strongly, and Representative Manuel, Senator Nichols. But with that, we're doing what we have to do for the interstate. It's going to cause problems. We knew that. We had meetings with TxDOT, representatives, local engineers here, and all 4 precincts, including the city. Whenever you have a major construction like that, you will have incidents, accidents, and things occur at different times. When those things occur, Interstate 10 traffic, it's Katie born out the nest. They're gonna get anywhere and however they can to make sure that those 18 wheelers are getting where they need to get. They're gonna drive on those country roads, as we call them, those roads that were made for regular traffic and combine. And that is a part of the major problem we have right now. We cannot go in and chop up the road and do the things that we need to do because it's just not feasible. When you have an accident on Interstate 10, Friday night, for example, traffic stop, they were all over every road, every road, 124, 365, every road that they could get where they wanted to bypass that traffic, they went down it. Matter of fact, last week on Smith Road, there was an accident, turn over 18 wheeler. The law enforcement had to guide people off of Interstate 10 onto Smith Road. Smith Road wasn't built for that. But that's just the fact. So only thing we can do, and we let the public know, we will have to patch until certain parts of Interstate 10 is complete. Then we can go in and resurface and do everything we can. But at the present time, it's just it's a patching job because of that progress on that side give us headaches on the other side. I can say it that way.
Well, I know it can be a big headache because we're so busy driving down Interstate 10 and can't. Some days we're delayed on the highway for traffic for about an hour 2. So I understand what it can do, but uh, It is what it is. Now, there has been discussion about raising taxes. Why do you believe tax increases are not the answer, especially for seniors, working families, and people already struggling with rising costs?
Well, first of all, I guess I started off early. I learned after those storms, you have to make sure you manage within your budget. From that standpoint, you have to make sure that you don't spend everything that's there. Because if you spend everything there, you're going to have to raise taxes sooner or later. I don't
Hmm.
believe that it's good for the community. I think that what we've been doing is very good for the community. We have given some abatements. Those abatements have benefited us by right now having 52 to 58 billion dollars in expansions going on in Jefferson County. We are envy of the state of 254 counties because having that type of injection of business coming into your community is almost unheard of. But that came because of early years with the Motiva project and all those projects that came along. It's benefiting us now. I don't think we need to raise taxes. I think that every entity in Jefferson County need to manage from within those budgets. And that's what we try to do. That's what we try to make sure that's done. I with the present pressures that's coming out of DC on families, elderly people, I don't think it's prudent for us. I think we will grow our county with the expansion projects that we have and plans of making sure that quality of life issues for families and young families and young people come back here with good ideas of how we can attract them and they can enjoy their life here and make a living after they get out of high school, college, and things of that nature. And that to me is the way to go. I don't think tax increases is very good for uh, I don't think it's good for the community as a whole.
Well, let's clarify this then. Can you explain to me and the audience that's listening and watching the difference between how a county operates versus a city and why a county commissioner has to lead differently than a city official?
The first difference would be on the county side, we have 5 individuals, a county judge and 4 commissioners by law, state of Texas. County judge is elected with the total county. Each commissioner has a precinct. We, uh, our task is to make sure we manage the budget and approve all budget for departments and elected officials. So from the county side, we receive their wants, and then we have public our what we call public hearings, where they come in and they explain to us those wants. At the same time, we're looking at the needs because those are the things that we must do by law, state law. Okay. So from that standpoint, it's a little different because from the city standpoint, the city manager and his administration put together the budget with the different departments. The city council hear those things and they go by what the city manager basically is putting forward. To a great degree, uh, we are just like city managers at the county commissions level because it is a budget that we receive and we have to manage from within that budget of all the departments that we oversee. So that's a big difference right there. Now, the other difference is we receive general funds from taxes. Our tax base is the third lowest tax base in the state of Texas. The cities receive sales tax and they receive use tax like water, sewer, things of that nature. We don't receive those type of taxes. In our case, we do in precinct 4 because we have a county assistant district, and I can explain that to a degree, but it's not a part of our regular budgetary process.
Oh, back to me. Well, let me move on to my next question, and that is there has been public confusion around the CO related vote. Can you clarify the timeline, what the vote actually involved, and the address claims that have been made about it?
Well, first of all, there was a statement made about a vote for the CO. Uh, that was a resolution sent to the county by EPA and the present administration, and it was talking about carbon and carbon capture and the reduction of carbon by the big plants and things of that nature. And it was only a resolution sent to us. There have never been something where the county approved for any company to do carbon capture in the county. Those companies are, and also there was the county attorney in Orange County, I think it was, did a whole set on it because there was some questions to come about. By law, the county doesn't have the authority to approve something of that nature. The only time we get a chance to deal with anything like carbon capture or anything else, offshore drilling, offshore storage, it's when that corporation come in for a tax abatement. Other than that, those are Fortune 500 companies, multi-billion-dollar companies. When we found out about carbon capture, it was because of a constituent had received a call or a text from some land company, and he texted me, asked me did I know anything about it, and I said no. At that time, we found out the company had been leased from a private entity 13,000 acres of land. We ain't know nothing about that. It was between the company and the landowner.
Well, I was
So
at the, I'm not to cut you off, but I was at the debate, the last debate on Thursday night, and
yeah,
I just for the first time, me hearing this, and I wanted to ask more questions, but I know that everything is time limited on when you're doing a live debate in public. But the EV plant that you introduced to us at that debate was the first time I've heard that. And let me let everybody know what an EV plant is. It's an electric vehicle battery plant. And I'd like to know more about that.
well, Tony, let me tell you what that is came about because of the CADS, is a County Assistant District. County Assistant District 4, which is in Precinct 4, came about because, of course, you have to go to the court and you have to get three votes to give you an okay on it. Well, in Fort Bend County, there was a commissioner used something that the present lieutenant governor put in as a bill, and they call it a county assistant district. Well, he went in and I seen what he did. What he received funding, and it comes from sales tax. It's done in a rural area off an interstate or state highway or something that where some of the development can take place. From my standpoint, we looked at it and saw, woo, Smith Road, ideal. Interstate 10, rural. Both directions we had 150 footage road, frontage foot going west, and I think it's about 75 going east, 75 footage. But our anchor tenant there, it came about because we had an election. It was approved in this certain section. Our anchor tenant that came in was Love Truck Stop. Love Truck Stop came in, and from that, we get 90% of the sales tax off that interstate. That sales tax we put in a special fund, special a way you can't touch it. We have in our plan economic development. We have in our plan a plan for a community center with a law enforcement substation in this area. Where in that economic development side, some of the landowners on the opposite side of the freeway, close to where we're at, with our CAD system, they wanted to further develop it, and it has taken off unbelievable. We're in there. that company came in, they bought 10 acres, purchased 10 acres of land. They started their plant. It's from Japan. It's the first plant and only plant built in the United States, built right in Precinct 4. They will deliver their product to the United States from Precinct 4. And they have purchased 13 or have in the process now of purchasing 13 to 15 more acres. So that tells me some development is going to come. The deal we cut with the individuals that basically have all those different companies coming in there was that when the roads and things were built, if there's a problem occur after a certain period of time, we would repair those. And what we're going to repair them with is that fund that we have, those sales tax, and we're putting to the side. We put a certain amount to the side for potential repair of roads, any ditching problem that we have there. So that has enhanced the ability for companies to come in there, and those individuals are being hired from our community, just like the Japanese company. They hired 30. They send them off to Japan for training and came back. It was 15 or 16 was hired right out of Jefferson County.
Great.
So it's a plus for us. In the Love
Yes.
Truck Stop thing, the first thing and only thing I asked their owner was, you have to hire somebody out of the Cheek community. They hired 4 or 5 individuals from the Cheek community when it first started. So, we have to think differently and use the things at our fingertips. Counties doesn't, like I said, doesn't get sales tax, but 90% of the sales tax are coming from those individuals. We have a truck on the opposite side of the freeway that's planned for another truck stop to come in. We roughly getting 20, 23K a month just with Love right there. That's
Right.
it's a big benefit, big plus. And there's more development coming as soon as that interstate is completed.
Great deal. So that's going to increase your tax base, and not only that, it's going to bring revenue in so that you can repair sewer and street repairs in that area out in Cheeks and area.
And when you said sewer, we're in our seventh grant of the first time sewer project at the community of Cheeks. We have, when we first came into office, there was a problem, and the Justice of the Peace and the environmental group in the county, they had a dilemma. The environmental would have to cite people, and the Justice of the Peace would, of course, have to come in and, from his standpoint, do what he had to do from the law. So we found that we had to do something. We wrote a grant. That's my prior experience. It was dealing with grants. We prepared a grant with the community. The first one was the sweat equity from the community. We had individuals from the community to help put the force main down. That was where we worked with the city of Beaumont. Kyle Hayes was the city manager. We did a long-term deal with those guys. The force main that we received, the first grant was, I think we received $350,000. That grant put the longest force main in the history of in that program at that time.
Great. Let's shift the motion. Let's shift the shift here,
Sure.
and let's move on to something that I like to discuss with you and to get your expression from it. And your opponent often mentions age and younger ideals.
Mm.
How do the things you are doing right now support young people who are raising families, working and trying to build a stable future in Precinct 4?
I think the first thing we're doing is making sure that when individuals come to our community, for example, the EV battery company, the thing was with me, you have to hire people from our community. The pipeline companies that's coming in and building those apparatus operations in the community, please hire from our community. And they, of course, having to bring some in. So to me, what we're doing is fostering what I call build it from the bottom up and make sure we take care of our own. Make sure that those guys that are raising families that they can get a decent salary, and partner with LIT, where we can make sure the kids get trained so they can get into these jobs. Those things are very important. I think, to me, uh, at a certain point in time, you have to look at how you're going to make sure that families can survive, because that's what make everything grow. And we're doing what we have to do with that. I think that we need to probably do more on the side of entertainment and things of that nature. But at the first thing, I think primary in any man's life is to be able to take care of his family. And that
That's
means
right.
go to work at a stable job with some benefits so you can take care of your family.
Exactly. Exactly. Now, let's see here where I want to go with this. Some residents say you may not always be as visible in certain areas. Now, I don't know where they get that from, but
Hmm.
how do you respond to that perception? And how do you ensure all the precincts four is served equally?
Well, I respond to that this way. If there's any event in the precinct, uh, normally I have a schedule and we try to get to everything. Sometimes I'm at 3 or 4 events in one day or one weekend, because my event sometimes is on the weekend. So I try to make it if I'm invited. Even sometimes I'm not invited. I go to some functions at different churches and things of that nature. Uh, I don't know where they get it from. They don't see me, but I'm definitely in the community, no question. Okay.
I'm gonna go quickly to the comment board, and one of the questions on the comment board from who was Jenny Avala Castaslo 92, and the question is: are you the commissioner for the Orchard as well?
Yes, I am. I'm the county commissioner, and Parish is a part of that location. That is a part of that section. Yes, it is.
Okay, let me go
Matter
back
of
to
fact,
Mike.
that's where we have the that's where we just did the deal with DV6, where we worked a drainage uh, project there, where reduced on Sarah Street, where it used to flood for anything, anytime it rained. We had 5 acres of land, well, that the county owned, and we couldn't sell it outright. So there was a deal because it would reduce flooding. And we put a deal together that gave us an opportunity to have a walk trail for the community. We're waiting for the lighting to be done by Centerpoint, but we have a walk trail fence and parking. So yes, I am a part of the Archer community. Yes, I am.
Now, many people hear the term CAD, CAD,
Yes.
CAD, but don't fully understand it. So, can you explain what CAD is and
Okay.
how is it benefits Jefferson County and
Well, I was
and the role it plays in job creation, economics, and public services?
okay. I
Economics,
I
economics.
just talked about it a minute ago. The CAD system is a county assistant district. It's created by legislation. It affords a county to receive sales tax. We drew out some area in the county where the rural section was, and there was the interstate, Interstate 10. We had an election. The voters said, okay. We educated the voters. They said, okay. We brought it to the commissioner's court after that. It was granted. Give us an opportunity to visit with the city of Beaumont. The city manager and city of Beaumont signed off on it that they didn't have any plans to annex that area. From that, the CAD system went into existence. And at that time, we didn't have any buildings or businesses to a great degree in there. The anchor tenant was Love Truck Stop. Love came in, built in at right time, hooked into the first time sewer project that we had also. So it was a win-win for the community where we started the first time sewer project. It was a win-win with the CAD for us being able to make sure that boom, they can come in there. The sewer project From that, go straight to West Jefferson Municipal District. But the CAD is called CAD 4, County Assistant District number 4, which it because it's in Precinct 4. It is the thing that I was talking about where we roughly 23 grand a month that comes from that Love Truck Stop and now several of the businesses in the industry park over there.
For people who may not know the history, what was Cheeks like around year 2000?
Well, when
And
I
what,
came into office around 2002, it is still rural. It's a rural area, but there was a major problem. That problem was when I found out there was a brief flood before I came in office, and that's how we found out about sewer or body waste going into the ditches. And at that time, there was legislation to come out that forced environmental and the justice of the peace to do certain things. That's why we went with the community, visit with the community, and started the process of the first time sewer grant. We wrote it with regional plan, Southeast Texas regional planning. It cleared there, went to Austin, and it came out number 2 out of Austin. And that's the beginning of the sewer project. It's a rural area where, of course, you can burn trash outside, you can burn your trash, but it's a very rural area.
well, let me ask you this. What progress has been made since then, since 2010? 2000, I'm sorry, that's when
Yeah,
you were started.
2002.
Right.
We have about 153 houses that's been hooked up to sewer with that phase 1 through 6. Phase 7 now we have $750,000 that's coming to us, which is going to make us have $1.8 million total in grant funding. That grant funding went directly to each individual that applied for, and that cleared the rules and regulations by the state agency. And from that, the engineer and the installers did their work. The grant was put together by us every year. It's been approved, and the benefits go directly to West Jefferson Municipal District, because once the system go into existence, the owner is West Jefferson. So the constituent or resident and West Jefferson is talking and dealing with any issues after we put it in. But it's directly going to a low gravity, going directly to the city of Beaumont as a collector. So it's a benefit because we have a waiting list every year, and if we didn't have that waiting list, the environmental group would have to go out and check and see if somebody is still doing that. That gives them the ability to say, well, Commissioner Precinct 4 is continuing to apply for grants to make sure we don't have that problem.
And
So
then why,
what that does is benefit the whole community.
so why do you say that the work is ongoing and not finished yet?
Well, it's been done by grants, and we could raise taxes and say, well, we could do that, but I got to get 3 votes to do that. And if you're doing it by grants, you're doing it what I call in a fiscal responsible way, because you're not putting the pressure on the citizens in the community because it's a grant. They don't have to pay for this grant. And the other thing that we have done, we upgraded the park with the American CARES Act funding, the funding that came through President Bush. We had several options of things that we could do. Well, the park in the Teeks area qualified for X amount. We put $92,000 of upgrades to that park. We put $4.5 million to West Jefferson to make sure we didn't have brown water and that the system worked in that rural area. We put $560,000 to the Hillebrand community, Cardinal Meadows, to redo their pumps in their sewer system, which directly go to the city of Beaumont. And that problem occurred after Hurricane Harvey, which we all know we had a lot of problems to occur after that.
I have two last questions to ask you, and one of them is: has your like the kids say, your opponent been involved in a city county projects of any kind?
Eh, I'm sorry, would you please ask that again? You said,
Your opponent,
okay.
because we want to have someone experienced. We want to have someone that knows, have done this job before, that so that the your precinct would not lose out, but have your opponent been involved in a city county project of any kind,
Um,
city or county.
City or county project. Well, I tell you what, when we have had any disasters, I'm sure he had an opportunity to deal with something on the city side of it. Uh, but as far as a project where we work together on something, I don't recall anything right now.
That question comes from Alice Felix Ramsey from the comment board. Now, as I finally close out this podcast with you, I've got one question I want to ask you to tell me and the listeners.
Okay.
Why or what can you prove to us, to me, that you are ready to do the next 6 years for the Jefferson County Precinct 4 Commissioner? Why would we want to vote for you? Why those that hadn't voted for you, why you are the person to be in this position?
Experience with disasters, number one. You want somebody at the helm that can get this county back up and going, and make sure that our industry is going and people are working. Number two, we have done grants, $575,000 for the what we call the mobile medical unit. That money came free to the county. We got the court to agree with us on it and applied for it. $575,000 to make that particular unit with direct relief. Direct relief also provide us medicine free to the county. We also went for a $290,000 grant to make it a mobile medical hospital to a degree. Everything you want is in that particular unit. That's a plus to the community. As I stated back then, we are the lowest taxing entity out of 254 counties. We're around the third or fourth at the bottom. That is a good plus for us. The next thing is that expansion to our county, the $52 to $58 billion in expansions. That means jobs, opportunities. That means LIT, where you can go and get your 2-year degree and still make it and make 100,000 plus a year. That you can go to a 4-year, or in some cases that you can step right out and go to work in a plant. We are leading by pushing forward ideas that make families solid and strong. Also, we have in this community a Precinct 4. Take yourself and a loved one to the doctor days. It's a plus for it. We have the senior program that we push. And we have the summer reading feed program where we have kids that come in the summer. They get a free meal, get a chance to read a book or listen to some of those experts that come. Some math teachers, some ag life teachers, our law enforcement community. And at the end of the program, we let them leave with out of the rural area and in one location in the city. We let them leave with a back to school backpack. I am pushing forward to make life better for citizens in Precinct 4 and better for citizens in Jefferson County.
Re-elect Bo Alfred, Jefferson County Precinct 4 Commissioner. Bo, glad to have you. Glad to be presented yourself and express your expressions on how you're going to take this county commissioner's precinct 4 to another level. Remember, guys, it's early vote is February 17th. That's Tuesday to the 27th. So get out and vote, and let's vote early. And election day is March 3rd.
Right, and you know what? The new thing is going on in the county where we look at the comedy night and jazz and jokes. Things of that nature is going to boost our young people involvement in our community too.
I agree to that, because they need that. They need that something entertaining, something to keep them
Right.
them here with us. So,
Yes,
people, thank you both for coming out and getting it all out here. We chopping it up a little bit, and of course, we have a couple of more shows this week with candidates that's running for a spot on the election, on the ballot. And we thank you again both for having you. Let me everybody look at you real good. Let me take all this off the page here. Let me make sure you're there. All right, where you going? Okay, you're there. I'm gonna put you right here. All right, Bo Alfred.
All right.
If you want to know who Bo Alfred is, that's Bo Alfred, Jefferson County.
That's it.
For Commissioner. We thank you, baby. Have a blessed day.
All right.
Thank you, everyone, for listening and watching, and share Knowledge is Power Podcast Live with everyone, because we're everywhere. So we enjoyed you all. Thank you so much, Bo.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you for watching Knowledge is Power Podcast Live. Be sure to like and subscribe to all Knowledge is Power social media pages.